in it that would qualify.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's one of the examples that I use is that like a Native American handmade beading, that is of an intricate enough nature, and there is a design element in it that it's different than stringing beads together.
But see, at first you said it came from Hobby Lobby. So
No,
that's why I'm asking.
Yeah.
Well, what the point I think they were trying to make is if you go buy these Hobby Lobby and string them together, that's not an exception.
But you buy canvas, brushes, and paint from Hobby Lobby. What is the difference? You don't make that.
Those are your tools.
I don't-
Yes, your beads are your tools to create your art. So what's the difference? I mean, I would like to know, I would like a list of your experts. Because I have problems with your experts. In the professional art world, you know who the jurors are. I need to know who the jurors are.
And a lot of it is the process. Like, okay, on this bracelet that she's got, it looks to me like this is hand blown.
Actually, all of the glasses in
Yeah, and you,
Hobby Lobby provided for that.
you bought the back, you put those but you made your beads.
I made all of them. But this one, we made none of them. This was bought at, like, all the online, and beads were bought at Hobby
But you
Lobby.
made the bezel, or you made the design. This is, because of the metal work on this would qualify. Because of the glass work on this would qualify. And these are like opposites. She did not make the metal work on this one, she did make the glass, and the opposite here.
So this one, I made some of this part, and all the rest part.
And, you know, because of this, and this is Susan's examples are a lot like this, because there is a dominant element in it that does qualify. We can't make you charge $20 and charge $10 that's tax-free and it's not, we're not, you know, that's not done. If this was like this, it would not qualify because these are strong beads. But because of the original design, the original glass blowing process or whatever, fusion, whatever it is, this would qualify the item. And I think Susan's got examples like that as well. This probably would not, unless you made the glass.
But it comes from the same, it's the same material.
But all you did was put a hook on it.
No, we put all the things together. This is on silver, sterling silver. He actually strung it on silver and made a clasp himself. But this is a set. So
Yeah.
that's how the set is attached to it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's where, when you get it at your table and someone buys a set of earrings to go with it, that, you know, then I have 15 sets of papers, and I'm going, well, I'm trying to sell steps of this, I'm trying to sell steps of this.
Yeah.
And I'm taking 15 minutes with one customer, and then I have to explain it to them.
Well, you would have to know from the process what does and what doesn't. Yeah, and that, I know, and I'm trying to tell you that,
But I mean,
yes, no.
I know,
I mean, this one,
but they go together as a set, so what do you do?
so if you sell them as a set, you just don't charge tax.
Those are regular set that I
What's the difference?
Okay,
One original piece of iron on your waist. One original piece of iron. Well, and there are how many? 694 sales tax exemptions in Louisiana or something like that. And this is the only one that I'm claim any knowledge of. So,
And that's the
so Susan,
question also. Go ahead.
Are you ready?
So, yeah. So,
All right, so this is my examples. This would qualify to be sales tax exempt because I'm actually focal point here. I have a process where I use glass and sheet metal on postage stamps and things. This is actually a digitally enhanced picture that I work with. Even though these are cool beads, they're actually strung, and but they don't disqualify because it has a focal that I did all this work on. It qualifies. However, yeah. This, you would not know if it qualified unless you knew the process. This is a semi-precious gemstone, but I did not hand carve this little guy myself. I strung the beads, but I didn't make the focal. This would not qualify, but I have friends who do this kind of work, and if they had done it, it would qualify.
If you knew the artist who did it and you acquired it from that artist, then it was qualified?
If they sold it, it would qualify. This is just blown glass thrown on a cord. I did not blow the glass, it does not qualify. I have friends who blow glass, if they make this would qualify because they would have made the focal point. This again is another example. I did all the little intricate work at the bottom with the sheet metal and glass and everything. I didn't, hand make any of this, although I could have made the metal. It's not worth my time. But it would qualify because all in all, it's got the focal point that I did all this work on. This would not qualify because I did not hand carve these agate beads at the bottom. I just, essentially in their eyes, I strung them. But had I been one of the people that does that kind of agate work, then that would have qualified. This does not qualify because I didn't hand make this. This is ancient Chinese pottery. I did not set it in the metal. Had I set it in the metal, this would have qualified. I have bought the wet saw and some of the tools to start doing these myself, and when I do it myself, then this will qualify, but right now, this doesn't, even though it's similar to some other stuff that does. This is a shell at the bottom of this one, and I did not apply this fiber to it. I happened to find a vendor who sold it to me like that. This does not qualify. Had I applied, the art on it, though, it would have qualified. This is just like the bracelet I'm wearing. It's essentially what they're going to call strong beads. I didn't make the little silver beads. Semi-precious gemstones, it's just strong. I have to charge tax on it. This metal work here, silver and bronze, I fired it in a kiln, and so it's going to qualify. I'm going to drill holes in it and do all kind of cool stuff with it. That's the direction I'm heading. Right now, half my stuff, when I started out, all of it was taxable. Right now, I'm 50-50. When I'm done with it, one day I'm going to be pretty much all tax-free. That's my goal. If anybody has any questions about this bronze casting, it's called PMC, and we have classes over at the Gem and Mineral Society, and I've got admission, discount on admission to the upcoming gem show. It's not this weekend, but the next, and we can get you in classes and you can learn how to do it.
Hold up one of those things again. No, not that. What are the skeletons?
Now, when some of the tax folks come around, do they, I don't know, any of you who have been questioned by them as a maker or whatever, do they get on you about, well, how do I know you really made this thing?
They don't even do the paperwork, they just hand you an envelope and say pay.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they really, they don't want, they know that, some of them, I shouldn't say that, some of them are Nazis. And they do want to determine what does and what doesn't qualify. But we were assured that the people here, they don't want that job. They want to be able to go up to someone, trust them that that is in fact handmade. I've said it is. I'm telling you now, and I don't have to pay tax on it. So, and they're good with that.
The other Howell said, she said, we're not artists, we don't pretend to be artists, we don't know what's handmade and what's not, that's not our job, we're just out there to collect the tax.
But they should at least have the paperwork and the knowledge enough to say,
Correct.
do you think your stuff qualifies and give you the paperwork? They never even have the paperwork.
Well, and they have copies of this. They say they distribute the.
Yeah, they said that they give it to all of the program managers of all the different events, but I bet they will now.
And that's the, that's the challenge is that we're here to filter this information because especially with Unseen, as people say you can start making stuff and selling it to get that information in the generation and generation and generation. That'll be the different one. Pass that on. Yeah, I'm sorry.
The handmade rosaries, no two of them are the same. The beads, I do purchase, but every rosary is designed separately. I even make my own pins that connect the beads to wire the stainless steel pins. Those I manufacture myself.
Until you said that, I was going to say, there's really no difference between stringing rosary beads and a necklace bead or a bracelet bead, and that if you're using manufactured beads, that it probably wouldn't qualify. Although, if there is, and that's the question you were starting to ask when Susan was talking, and I asked him to hold off. He said, there's some percentage of original design or original or handmade parts of it that does or does not qualify. And all of the ones that Susan held up, because she's fabricating part of the item and creating that focal point, we're saying that it qualifies, and we're not going to disqualify the part of it that doesn't, or that is manufactured beads. But I can't tell from what you're saying about the connection.
The eye pins, I started with silver row.
Is it like what would be the metal on a traditional rosary?
Right. I manufacture all of those myself, and I determine, like my,
And there's a decade, they're in decades?
They're in decades. The eye father beads are always
Yeah.
different,
Yeah.
and
But you make the rosary part, right?
yes.
Well, see,
Yeah,
this is a rosary that would not qualify that I make, it's all strung, I didn't make any
But
of
if
it
you
myself.
made that part.
When he
then
made
it
the
would-
rosary part, that's the focal, I would say it would qualify.
I would
Okay.
very much like her others.
Okay.
Make your focals.
Make it focus, that's good advice, I like that.
Yeah.
Are there any other questions? We appreciate you guys coming and being here. I know that we're not going to
I just have another
answer.
sales tax question.
Sure.
So we'll come back to that.
Sure.
As a show chairman, I do the quarterly show and act, like I said, I have a lot of trouble getting those sales tax forms from the state. The ones that used to be the red box, and now they're in the black box.
They're online, and they're online, they're on the social
Who's
district website.
responsible, am I supposed to spend my money?
I thought they did not take those up anymore with the state. You're required to have state income tax ID number to do what you said.
That's, I don't know if you can help me with this question or not, but every time before a show, and I do a show twice a year, I spend days putting my packets together, and the local people, my local area reporter and actors,
Yeah.
wonderful, I get their stuff fine.
Yeah.
I get nothing from the state
No.
to turn in, to give to my people. Some of my vendors are new.
Just tell them to go online and print it out.
Yeah, they are online. And I have a copy of the state, sales tax report. I think I had it out
The
there.
information I
I
got.
put it somewhere.
You had to have state tax ID number. It was not even.
Yeah, they give me the form to apply for a number, but
But this is what you're talking about?
that's the one I'm talking about, yes.
This is available online, and I need a piece of paper to give you to send
They
it.
probably said they were required to have it, or they couldn't.
But I don't think you can give that blanket form to the new vendors, like you're saying, they need to apply for a number first.
This is
Yeah, I get the thing about the number, you know, they'll give me that. And the Natchitoches people gave me,
It's
just
hard.
out of courtesy, they gave me a little slip that they generated, okay? That I sold this much at the Fleur de Lis show, so me, okay? I submitted my little form to the state, of course, I was in a cultural district, and I was tax exempt, I wrote all that down. I sent it to the Alexandria people, and they sent it back. Anyway, I think that's why we called you the first
I
time.
think, yeah.
Yeah, that's why I called you before Maker's Fair. And it's just a hassle as a show chairman to get any cooperation from the state. Not your
I know
division,
what you're
the
talking
regular
about.
sales
You
tax.
can't, I have one person's email address, and fortunately, she responds to me. And she's not in this division, but she will answer questions for me, and I cannot get a person. When you call a number, you cannot get a person.
Right.
This is online, and I have a link to on the cultural district website, there's a section called forms. So there's a new, I just redesigned, there's a new little paragraph called tax information, sales tax information. And there are links to these, to the instructions for this, to these, the state report and the instructions for the state report, and a link to the Louisiana. I didn't want to put all 64 parishes on the parish forms, but there's a link to the Louisiana Association of Tax Administrators, and they have a map with a, and you just click which parish you're in, and you can get the tax form for that parish.
So my older vendors, my more experienced vendors, my returning vendors should know what to do. But my new vendors, I've got to generate a little letter to them, go to this, hold their hand, and walk them through it.
Yeah, you do, and it is.
They got to do this.
They're supposed to have a statement, before they say
But how do they, I mean, they show up to me,
that's
They'll
only
get
show
that
they've never
letter.
done it
Right.
before.
no, I get a lot of newbies.
Yeah.
I get a lot of newbies.
The last piece of paper that I gave to you, everybody doesn't need that, it's really designed for promoters, for event promoters. And it has and I'll have to email it to you because these links are all active. You know, it's so that if I give you the electronic version, you can just click on it and it'll go to it. So, I'll have to.
The state is very difficult.
I mean, it's,
You know,
but if they don't have their numbers when they apply with you,
I
then
can defend them, I
the
can
office
say
is
you're.
responsible for knowing what they can do.
And sometimes I don't know what they're doing. I don't know if they're going to show you or not.
Maybe if the application asks for their state ID, if they don't
Any
have
other
one,
questions?
then
We'll wrap this
they have to
puppy up.
transform.
Take cookies with you. What's your drone?
I mean, what they have to know.
I'm looking at it.
Before you get there and
I design them, and they're all different colors, and they're all campers, top to bottom, so I think we're good.
How about our t-shirts, stretch your skins and everything?
Oh, no, with faces, we're not, say, illustrated.
How about our t-shirt? Okay.
We go with collecting t-shirts, so we have to go and select our design from each one. And then we look at it and decide what colors to use, we decide what, right now we have 3 logos, so we're check and like this one has stuff on the back, so not all of them are back printed, not all of them are shadow printed, it just depends on the underneath color. And they're on the screens, they're all.
I would say it come down to the process, because if it is a traditional silk screen where you're printing.
You have state tax ID.
Like that, yeah. And that's the handmade process. You've got your design, you
See, the letters,
Do they have
you would be saying
yes.
2 or 3 of them the same shape.
I would have 100 on this one, because this is the only.
They're not going to take them, they take chances.
So, I mean, I don't know, it looks like maybe there was a bunch
Well,
of.
see, who takes a look at your
I don't have to take it. But then the sheriff always send you to.
Now, you were talking about state. I don't mean to, that's really not your well, I mean, it's online, if you're selling it.
It's
Right, and this is the only campus, see the shirt? This is Gemini.
It doesn't matter what campus
It's
it's
the design.
With the design, you know, I'm gonna say,
You can have a series of prints on different backgrounds. I've seen silk screens that have done a series of, like 80 pieces on old wallpapers or on, weird pattern background. Yeah, and it's still a number, it's still considered a number series.
and then each like this one, they have to decide how it's good.
I think it's the number of impressions, right?
For you to do the tax. No, but I mean, it's a lot of homework. So they gotta have a number, and they probably 5 or 4. If you gotta take that.
Oh, you got it.
Yeah.
They demanded for her to
And she should be
Give
part
me
of
a
it.
boss lady that she's talking about as a boss